Hello, everybody, and welcome back for the first time in a long time
Long
to
time.
not two blokes review. No, count them, three blokes review. That's right. We are back
Really,
with our
three blokes
discography.
rank. Really.
Three blokes rank. Yeah, we can change it to three blokes rank.
Yeah.
That's right. We're back
What about three
with.
ranked blokes?
Hey guys, would you let me fucking intro, please?
Sorry.
We are back with our discography rankings, and today, as you can tell by our backgrounds so clearly, that's right, we are doing Steely Dan, all-time summer band. That's why we had to get it in before the end of the summer, recording this on August 10th, just in the nick of time. Um, my name's Jack. I'm once again not the host, not the owner. I'm just a guest here. Liam so graciously lets me come back time and time again. And for that, I will now pass it on to you, Liam. How are you doing today?
Hello, YouTube. My name is Liam, and yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. We are now bringing back the Three Blokes rank series. What's the last one we did, Jack? Ween? I
Quite possibly, yeah.
think it was Ween, which
Yeah,
was
I
a
think
good
That
so.
was
one.
a long time ago. I remember when you were listening to Ween for that video.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
yeah. And then, yeah, we had a lot of good videos. The Rush one was an all-time classic.
Oh man, that one was tough.
Obviously, the
I
Zeppelin
enjoyed
one.
it, but it was a long time.
Zeppelin one was classic. Maybe we'll have to redo that one with CPH one of these days. Uh, but yeah, Steely Dan. Let's go. Now, introduce
Hmm.
yourself, Colin.
I am Colin. Liam Huser, the host and owner of the channel. I'm his younger brother. And that's all I got. I like Steely Dan a lot.
Yeah, Jack, how did so I like Steely Dan a lot. Probably a top 10 band for me of all time, I would say.
Oh, for
Pretty
sure.
probably maybe even top five. Uh, So I like
Oh,
him a lot. I knew all these albums. The first seven I knew extremely well. The other two I'd heard a couple times before. So I knew this pretty well. Jack, what was your experience with Steely Dan?
kind of same. They were like the cover of like the yacht rock genre for me. Um, but I hadn't really heard, or I didn't know them super well. I had never heard the last two albums. Um, and also randomly, Katie Lied. Never heard of that album, and
Oh,
that's kind of weird that that was just smack dab in the middle. And I was like, wow, I never even knew that this was a thing. So I wasn't super familiar with them, but they were one of those bands where every time I heard them, I was like, oh, come on, Steely Dan, hell yeah, let's do this, let's turn it up. So I like them. I like them a good bit.
yeah. For those of you that don't know, Steely Dan, they are a classic rock band, kind of genre ambiguous, jazz rock, but not in the traditional sense. They're pretty poppy, unlike a lot of other jazz rock bands. They're kind of were a band for the first few albums, then they were just kind of Donald and Fagen and Walter Becker's kind of like studio project. They stopped touring, kind of like the Beatles, and yeah, they got 9 albums. So, anything else you guys want to say, or should we just jump right into it?
My sister saw Steely Dan live and texted our family group chat because she used to work at the Santa Barbara Bowl as a security like person, and she saw Steely Dan live and texted our family group chat. I thought it was one person until tonight.
Yeah, I
Huh.
was gonna say, how long did it take for you guys to realize that?
I was definitely a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, it's called
I
Steely
don't
Dan. You would think it's just a
Yeah,
guy
you
named
think it's
Dan.
one dude? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't recall ever thinking that, but I probably did.
yeah.
Yeah, so shall I start it off then?
I reckon.
Sure.
Okay. So at my number 9, I think we're probably not going to veer too off from one another here, but this is usually not the one people put in last place from what I gather.
My phone.
It is from the year 2000, Two Against Nature, which is their eighth album. So this is like 20 years after Gaucho, which is pretty long break, and they just sound a lot older. So yeah, Donald Fagen, he does not sound good on this to me. He sounds kind of like a creepy old man to me, which on some of the songs it kind of works. The other ones, I don't know, it just sounds bad to me. Um, this is kind of like super lame, like jazz funk, not a lot of energy. Songs are not very memorable at all, in my opinion. Um, Gaslighting Abby is one of the worst Steely Dan songs, if not the worst, and it opens the album. And it's just got a horrible melody to it. Same thing with Janie Runaway. The background vocals on this, they just suck. It sounds like elevator music. Um, Two Against Nature, the song has like the worst hand claps I've ever heard. And it's just not that great. The best part about it is that it is Steely Dan, and they're pretty much going to be pretty solid no matter what. Favorite songs on here are honestly Cousin Dupree. I do like, even though the lyrics are just wild to that one. It's about like
Oh
a
yeah.
older cousin perving out on his younger cousin, and he's singing "How about a kiss from your cousin Dupree?" I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And West Hollywood is pretty awesome. That's kind of like a jammy kind of jazz fusion one. It's the best song on the album, but it's a little too little, a little too late, but it's still Steely Dan. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I think it's all right. It's not as bad as I'm saying it is, but just pretty unremarkable. It's also completely non-essential. Like they should have just never done this. And the fact that it beat Radiohead, Kid A, and Eminem at the Grammys as the album of the year is all time like head scratcher.
Mm. All right, Lee. Well, yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. However, there is one that I have below that at my number nine. Also with a score of 5 out of 10. I have the one after that, Everything Must Go. I mean, I guess this is a slight spoiler warning, but you really could switch Everything Must Go into Against Nature if you really wanted to. The reason I had this a little bit lower is because everything that I think sucks about Two Against Nature is kind of just like a little bit worse on this album. I think Donald Fagen sounds worse. Uh, Again, this is 25 years after their prime, so like I understand why he sounds bad, but at the same time, he still sounds bad. Um, so I think the production actually is pretty good. I think it just musically kind of sounds a little uninspired at times. It still definitely again is not a bad song. I mean, a bad album rather. It's just going up against everything that Steely Dan has done. It's not really even close to me. Kind of like what you said about Two Against Nature. I just don't understand why they did this. It's just so unnecessary. So there's just really no reason for me to ever listen to this album again because it's just like Steely Dan, like in their prime, except for way worse. Um, so yeah, I wasn't really super crazy about this. It's not the worst album I've ever heard. It's definitely no Long Road Out of Eden or God and Weed Satan or anything like that. So like I said, I gave it a 5 out of 10. My favorite song on this was God Whacker. I think that was a really cool song. Also just a sick fucking name for a song. Um, so yeah, that's what I got. That's my number nine, 5 out of 10. Everything Must Go.
My number nine is also Everything Must Go. Um, I just want to start off by saying I hate that song, Godwhacker. It's so
Oh,
bad. Every time it comes on, I skip it immediately. I like listen to it for a minute and I'm like, what is this? Look at my phone, I'm like, oh, and I just skip it. Um, anyway, for pretty much the same reasons, I don't think this album is too far off of Two Against Nature. It sounds like I don't really know how to describe it. This is the first time I've ever listened to the both of those albums, and they both is just like they just sound wrong. Like something's just wrong.
Hey, right.
I don't even know exactly what it is. Some of the songs it's different, but it's just like no, it just doesn't do it for me. Um, I'll say they're not like the worst songs I've ever heard. It like you were saying, Liam. It is still Steely Dan. They still make like there's still something going on in their heads. Um, but yeah, everything must go. I think the only reason I rank it below is because I remember it less than Two Against Nature. I think it was more forgettable than Two Against Nature.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going to disagree. I got everything must go at 8. I honestly just think that there's just it's not great. I got a 6 out of 10. So I actually do think it is a jump up. Um, Simply because I just think there's more songs that are pretty good on here. Godwhacker, I don't know what Connor's talking about. That song is awesome.
Thank you,
Um,
Lee.
No,
that song
Thank you, Lee.
I've actually liked that song for a while. That sick keyboard solo is awesome. I think the
Oh yeah.
production is better on here. We're getting less like elevator synths on here than the last album. And I think another reason why I like this album more, the lyrics on here, it kind of sounds like they accepted that he was kind of washed and old on this album. And The Last Mall is kind of funny, to be honest, just thinking about The Last Mall. And I think that
Yeah.
was kind of like it was like, oh, it's the last Steely Dan album. They're singing about that. That's pretty cool. Same thing with Everything Must Go. I think that's honestly a pretty solid way for them to close their career. Um, Things I Miss the Most, I really like. That song, I don't know how much you guys listen to the lyrics, but it's kind of like him about like this is what I gather, like going through a divorce and he's saying the things he'll miss the most and he's being like his house in Hollywood, his 64 Strat, his nice car, the sex. He's just kind of Donald Fagen is the ultimate like sarcastic lyric guy. Um there's a song in here called Lunch with Gina, which is a funny name for a song. Um Oh yeah, and how could Walter Becker gets his first lead vocal on a Steely Dan album, which was not that good. Slang of Ages. Donald should have sang that one. Blues Beach is a stupid song though. That song is ridiculous.
Hmm.
That's all I got to say. 6 out of 10.
All right. So like I kind of alluded to a little bit earlier, you can switch these two if you really want to, but just above Everything Must Go, I have Two Against Nature. Um, Again, I think that what the bad parts of this album, Everything Must Go, kind of just did a little bit worse. I didn't hate like the coffee house kind of slow jazz type of vibe that this album was giving. I do think it overstayed its welcome by a lot, especially even the first song. The first song was like 6 minutes. Was that's Gaslighting Abby, which I'm also going to say is absolutely a hilarious name for a for a song. Um, but yeah, no, Donald Fagen sounds rough as hell on this album. They kind of do a little bit of a good job of like hiding it behind background vocals, which I mean they did even in his prime when he sounded good. So I don't really know why they didn't do that more here. They definitely could have gotten away with it. But there were some really good spots on this album, specifically, and Liam, I don't know if you disagree with this or not, but the production I thought was really good, especially on the drums. I think the drums sounded fucking amazing.
Yeah, I
The
thought the
snare,
production was good. It was just kind of bland to me compared to the
I
70s
yeah,
albums, but it
I
sounded
can
good.
agree with
Yeah.
that. But the snare drum sounded really fucking tight. The toms were kind of the opposite, which made for a nice contrast. They were like nice and open and roomy. Um, Again, the horn sounded good, but it just kind of was a little boring in terms of an album overall. And I just think it overstayed its welcome. So I give it a 5.5 out of 10. Just beating out Everything Must Go.
5.5, you said?
5.5, yes, sir.
Um, my number 8 is going to be Two Against Nature. I give this one a 5, same as the last one. Um, when I first put this on, I don't think I had heard anything on this album before. I think I might have heard Jack of Speed. Um, but when I first played it, the first I don't remember exactly. The first like minute of Gaslighting Abby, I was like, okay. I remember here I just was told like by my dad that this album's not good. There's no point listening to it. And I was like, it just doesn't sound too bad. And then there's like a breakdown or something, and then I was just like, oh, what? No, this isn't right.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
best way to describe it. They're just something's just off about that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Cousin Dupree I thought was a funny song. Um, I don't really have much to say. It's pretty much the same. I feel the same about um this one as I do the last one.
Yeah. I would take that Donald Fagen album from the 80s over both of these albums.
Nightfly. Oh,
Yeah.
that album's amazing.
Yeah, I would that's so much better than this. Yeah, Jack, no love for Cousin Dupree.
Oh no, I forgot to mention that is I did write down that's my favorite song on the album. I thought Cousin Dupree was really good. I didn't think it was weird, but yeah, no, that it was kind of a
Also,
banger.
Dupree is such a crazy name.
I'm gonna name my firstborn son Dupree.
Yeah, so this is
Oh,
when it starts to get,
wait, is Dupree a guy name?
I think it's
I would
ambiguous.
assume. Yeah.
I thought it was a girl name.
I think you could get away with naming a girl Dupree.
Yeah,
I think you
sure.
could. I think that. Never mind.
Well, gentlemen, the list really starts now, I think.
Yeah, I agree. So this is where it got tricky. And honestly, things could fly around if I were to do this again in like a year, pretty severely. So I was like, I gotta pick something for number seven, and this might be controversial because people like this one a lot, including me. I like this one a lot. I got from 1974, their third album, Pretzel Logic. Now, it's a great album. Ricky Don't Lose That Number is all time, and Night Night by Night by Night, is that what it's called? Yeah, Night by
Night
Night
by
is
night away from here.
yeah, that one. That's that's one of my favorite Steely Dan songs. Um, the guitar on that is rocking, dude. Yeah, they're ripping it up. Any Major Do Will Tell, Berrytown, those four songs in a row, just hell of a way to open the album. Love the album cover. Love Pretzel Logic. That's one of my favorite songs, but really just the reason why this one is lower than all the rest is I kind of just don't like the format of this, which I used to like more. This used to be like one of my favorite and like the top two for me, but Saint East St. Louis Toodaloo kind of kills the vibe for me. Like I get it, they're like jazz rock, but I'm like, come on, bro, it's a really short album, so it doesn't matter, and I don't dislike that. It's really cool, the song, but I just don't care to listen to that ever. And then all like the little ditties towards the end, like Through with Buzz, With a Gun, Charlie Freak, Parker's Band, they're pretty cool, but just not in the upper echelon of my favorite Steely Dan songs. Monkey on Your Soul is a really good one, though. Really great way to close it. So, yeah, it's literally just due to the few little short songs just not being my favorite. Um, but I love Berrytown might be my favorite. I love whenever they do like the country Steely Dan thing with the pedal steel. I think that's an underrated sound for them. I kind of wish they explored that more. But
Yeah.
I still got to add a 9 out of 10. So I got seven
Wow.
albums at 9 and above. So I still like this a lot.
Um, okay, Liam. At my number seven, I also have Pretzel Logic. I know, yeah, dude. I thought that was gonna be like a crazy hot take, but I'm happy to hear you say that. Um, and honestly, kind of for a lot of the same reasons as you said, I think the second half of this album kind of kills it. For me, I will also say this is gonna be a hot take. Ricky Don't Lose That Number. I've always thought was kind of overrated. I never really liked that song that
You know
much.
what? It's never been my favorite of their
I think
hits.
that's fair.
Yeah, I really just, I mean, it's not a bad song, but I'm just
It's
like,
a
I
great
do not
song.
understand why this is like considered one of their best. East St. Louis Tulu, um, it kind of does kill the vibe, but I will say after like the second or third time I listened to this album, I was like, that was the song that I was like stuck in my head. So for whatever that's worth, there you go. Like you were saying there, Any Major Dude Will Tell Ya is a good song. Pretzel Logic is a fucking great song. I think that's the best song for me on this album. But yeah, I just never really thought this album hit as much as other people seem to. I still think it's marginally better than number eight and number nine, but I just don't think it's as good as some other people do. I have it as a 7 out of 10,
Oh,
which
wow.
might be a little low, but I never really liked it that much.
I will say I did want to point out that that has one of the is like in one of their better productions of an album, like sound wise. It may even be their best. Maybe,
Yeah, I
maybe
can agree with
not,
that.
but it sounds damn good. All right, now I'm excited to see what Colin's got cooking up here.
All right. At my number seven, I'm going to put Countdown to Ecstasy.
Ooh.
And my main reason is, I guess, I listened to a lot of Steely Dan, so my way of judging this was partially how much I listened to the album or the songs on that album. And I don't ever really find myself listening too much off Countdown to Ecstasy. Now I'll say when I first started like exploring Steely Dan a couple years ago, I used to hate the song Bodhisattva. Like, I thought it was the worst Steely Dan song.
But it's that the
I I actually like it now. I don't know what changed, but I hadn't listened to it for a long time, and then I heard it prior to doing like listening to it for this. But I was like, yeah, I actually kind of like this song. It's pretty catchy. It's kind of funny. Um, but I think My Old School, I mean, that's a great song. Um, I like Pearl of the Quarter. I like most of the songs on this album. I don't know if did I give it a rating yet?
no.
I give this album an 8 out of 10. Um, Showbiz Kids, that song is kind of iffy for me. I think it's kind of annoying. Um, it's just very repetitive. Um, but that's really all I have to say.
All right.
All right. This next one is by far my hottest take. My number six is Can't Buy a Thrill.
Mm, mm, mm.
Now, this is their debut. Definitely deserves to be in the conversation. Kind of like how we talked about with Led Zeppelin 1, Jack, when we did that
Uh-huh.
video, as far as one of the best debuts ever. I mean, opening your career with Do It Again is pretty awesome thing to do. I love that electric guitar solo. They're definitely one of my favorite guitar solo bands. Like they just have so many just bitchin' guitar solos. It's crazy. All from different guys. This is when they were still Steely Dan, like a band, and there's other guys singing on this, which I think really it's just kind of the least Steely Dan album to me. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I think of why I rate it lower. And then having Dirty Work and um Reeled in the Years and Do It Again. I love all those songs, but they're just kind of overplayed, which kills the vibe. With that being said, the other songs like Brooklyn Knows a Charmer Under Me, Kings, Only a Fool Would Say That, Fire in the Hole are all just amazing songs. Midnight Cruiser is one of the more slept on Steely Dan songs, I think. Jim Hodder, the drummer, sings that one. It's the only one he sang. David Palmer sings a lot of the other ones instead of Walter Fagan. Or not Walter Fagan. Who the hell is that? Donald Fagan. Uh, um, which
Walter.
is weird. They don't really have that different of singing voices to me. Like David Palmer is probably like a little cleaner of a singer, but way less character. So that kind of kills it. Um, Change of the Guard is like a nice little ditty. Again, this is just the most early 70s soft rock kind of sound in Steely Dan album. Like a lot of it could be other bands from the era. And also Turn That Heartbeat Over Again is one of the worst Steely Dan songs, so that doesn't help.
Mm. Okay. Well, Liam, I almost respected you, but then you had to go and do that. Okay.
Jack's
So
about to pull out something crazy now.
I
what is
feel
this,
like it
number
too.
six?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Six. My number six, this is, I would say, a pretty big jump, but I have Katie Lied at number six. And like I said in the intro, I'd actually never heard this. I never even heard of this album before. So when I saw this, I was like, is this like a fucking like a compilation or what is this?
Jack,
And
not to
no, it's
cut
a
you off, I forgot to mention I
mm.
give Can't Buy a Thrill 9 out of 10. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, you're good. You're good. But I like this album a lot more than I thought I was going to. I really did not expect a lot from this album because, again, I never heard of it. But the intro song, Black Friday, really, really set it up, I think, really well. And then the rest of the album kind of knocked it out of the park for me. I think vocally, this is maybe one of their best albums. I think Donald Fagen kills it, but also from the background singers, I think the background singers play a huge part in this album and I mean this as a compliment. This is like in the best way I can possibly put this. It sounds like an album that was like kind of made for video games. Like like if you listen to Everyone's Gone to the Movies and Rose Darling, they sound like, at least musically, they sound like they should be in like video games. Like Rose Darling sounds like it should be in Mario Kart, and Everyone's Gone to the Movie sounds like it should be like the Earth level in Mario or something. But it's really cool. This is like I could definitely see myself listening to this on a road trip if I'm like I want to listen to some Steely Dan, but I've already listened to like their big albums a lot. And fuck it, let me put on Katie Lied. This was a very happy surprise for me. I think the best song was the intro, Black Friday. And I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
For my number six, I'm going to go with Can't Buy a Thrill.
Nice.
Um, I'm not a huge fan of the different singers in Steely Dan. Like, I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're bad vocalists, but I'm just not a huge fan of, I guess, hearing their voices in Steely Dan songs. It just, I don't know, not a huge fan of it. Um, I'm not a huge fan of we'll turn that heartbeat over again. I agree with Liam. I don't like that song. And then
Sounds like a
Brooklyn,
jingle.
I'm not a huge fan of that song. I feel like I used to like it more.
Oh, I love that one.
Um and this song also has for me how many? One, two, four or five of the most overplayed Steely Dan songs for me personally. So it just knocks it down automatically because I genuinely will skip a lot of the songs on this album when they come up, like in a random playlist because I've heard them so much. Like Do It Again, Dirty Work. I like don't even really I don't like listening to them as much
Yeah,
as
it
I used
sucks
to.
because they're great songs, but like I'm
Yeah,
kind of with you.
yeah. Oh, did I rate it? No,
No.
I didn't. I would give this one an 8 as well.
This okay, so the top five is when I'm like splitting hairs. So I'm gonna say really the top seven, I don't really have much to say at all that's bad about them. I just am basically giving reasons as to why they're lower than the other ones. So my
Yeah.
number five just pained me. Uh Katie lied.
Mm,
I hate to
mm.
do it. My number five, four, and three are all interchangeable. Really, they are. Like I was had to listen to them all back to back, and it was just yesterday the one that I vibed with the most is number one. So, um, I'll give this a. I feel like I have to. I'm going to stick with 9 out of 10 on here. Um, Black Friday is probably their most rocking song, I would say. Just crazy way to open the album. This is when they kind of turn into Steely Dan, more of the session project. You really start to get that yacht rock thing going on. Michael McDonald is appearing on this one. He's especially prominent on Rose Darling, which is a great song. Um, and this is when they start to kind of to be more complicated in their melodies. Like Bad Sneakers, just the chorus the is very kind of a complicated melody. Same thing with Dr. Wu, but it just works great. Um, Bad Sneakers, God, that's such a great song. Oh my God. And Dr. Wu, I also love when he says Katie lied in that song because I'm like, oh, nice. That's the name of the album. And what else is on here? The, oh, Everyone's Gone to the Movies is probably in my top five Steely Dan songs. I just think that is such a cool song. Great,
Really?
great song
I like
about
that song too. I don't know
great
if I put it
song,
top five, but I like it.
great song about Pervin again. Just uh your gold teeth too. Usually you should never make a sequel to a song ever. But
Unforgiven too.
yeah, looking at you, Metallica, but this one works. Um And there's a few songs on here that I still like Daddy Don't Live in That New York City No More and Chain Lightning, kind of the bluesy ones where they're just not the best Steely Dan songs, but they're still damn good. Um, Throwback the Little Ones is a super cool song. Yeah, this is a great album. Pains me to put it at number five, but it's gotta go somewhere.
All right. This I think might be my hottest take. This is where we're getting into Jack hot take territory, I think. But at number five, with a rating of 9 out of 10, so it's still really good. I've Gaucho. Um, and the Steely Dan purists are after me at this one. This is like a Steely Dan fan's favorite album. And I still think it's really good. I just think kind of similar to you, Liam. I more have to talk about why it's not as good as the others, I think. Hey 19 is a fucking amazing song. Babylon Sisters is really good as well, but I think it really peaks with Hey 19. And after that, and it's so relatively early in the album, Hey 19 is, and I think after that it's just like I'm kind of chasing that high. I think the backing vocals in this one specifically are very, very good. The drums are crazy. Again, the shuffle beat on Babylon Sisters is very impressive. Um, the title track, Gaucho, kind of sounds like a hymn, like a Christian hymn. That might just be the organs on it. I don't know, but either way, I didn't really vibe with that too much. No offense to the Christian religion, friends of the channel, most of them, not all of them, most of them. Um, but yeah, no, I wasn't really super high on this album as much as others were. Um, but yeah, I'll get in honestly a little bit more later on in the ranking as to why, but I'll bring that up later. But yeah, number five, I got Gaucho, 9 out of 10, but still very good.
For my number five, I'm going to also go with Katie Lied. Um, this one has some phenomenal songs on this one. Black Friday. I mean, the first two songs, Black Friday, Bad Sneakers. Those are some of my favorite Dan songs. Um, Dr. Will, like Liam was saying, phenomenal song. I like Chain Lightning. I think that one's pretty good. Um, but I would say kind of like what Jack said about it's now like what now I'm drawing a blank on what you said, Jack. Why it's worse than the other ones.
Oh yeah,
Um, I would say for me, I don't know, it's I would say there's a few songs on this one that I forget about.
Yeah,
And that's pretty much the only thing that could really that puts it lower for me.
I'm with you on that. That's pretty much my reason. I also had less experience with this one than all the other ones, except for maybe
for
Countdown to
sure.
Ecstasy. I don't know
Yeah,
why, because there's some popular songs on here, but pretty cool album cover though. What
a
did you
little
give
Yeah,
it,
bug on it.
Colin?
I give this one a 9 out of 10.
Okay, so again, this gonna pain me because I love this album, and I think I might have a kind of a unique perspective on why this isn't as good as my top three. Um, and I have Gaucho at number four. Now, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Love Gaucho. Um, there's not a bad song on it. It's only like what, seven songs, right? Six or seven. Sorry, had to do that. Um, God damn it. I think the big I'll start with the reason why it's lower for me. So they took like 3 years in between this one, which they'd never done before. And this is just the most Steely Dan album, I think. Um, like they go all in on the yacht rock, the jazz rock, the background vocals. They even have like Michael McDonald's scat singing on one of the songs in the background. And like the saxophones are everywhere, the weird keyboard sounds. They're singing about all sorts of weird, seedy characters on this. I think the problem would be they kind of are forgetting about the original roots of Steely Dan on here. There's not enough. It's perfect. It's a 10 out of 10. But if I were to nitpick, I could use a little more of something like My Old School on here, maybe. You know?
Yeah, Yeah.
It's the most mellow Steely Dan album from the original run, but damn, it's got some great songs. Babylon Sisters and Hey 19 are the ones everyone talks about, but the two songs for me, actually three songs for me, that really send it home. I don't know, dude. The whole everything after those two is amazing, but Glamour Profession and Time Out of Mind are just so good. Especially Time Out of Mind is crazy. That's the one where,
I'm out of mind.
yeah, Michael McDonald is scat singing. That's just got such a nice groove. It makes me just want to boogie and drink a cocktail or something, or be at the casino.
I agree with
This
that.
the song Gaucho is just so damn cheesy that it works perfectly. Like it starts with the most like Full House theme song intro saxophone ever. But
I never thought of that.
dude, I don't know what it is, but Steely Dan are just able to do that. And I think it's because like the song Gaucho, they're like obviously, they're singing like about some scummy dude. Hey 19, they're singing about I don't even know what it is. Is it the guy like hitting on a 19-year-old girl, something like that? Um Babylon Sisters, the shake it part is iconic. Third World Man, I love that guitar solo part. The instrumental part of that song, that would have been such a perfect note for them to end on, but they had to be like, "Hey Walter, you want to make some more money and get back together?" And that kind of, we can forget about those last two albums, but damn. Yeah, the session guys on here, Larry Carlton, Rick Derringer plays guitar on My Rival, which I was not as familiar with that song, but that song is so damn good. Rick Derringer, rest in peace. He sang the Hulk Hogan theme song, Jack. Also
I am
rock.
a real
Yeah, that's Rick
American. That
Derringer.
one.
Also, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo is such a great song. So shout out to
That
Rick
is a great song.
Derringer. So
Yeah.
damn that. Yeah, it sucks to put it at number four, but uh, the other
Also,
three I
one
like
thing
more.
I forgot to mention about that. My sister went to UC Santa Barbara, and their mascot they're the Gauchos. So
Oh, nice.
there you go. All right,
Which
we're at
is what is a gaucho?
it's like a Mexican cowboy.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so we're at number four, right? My number four with again a 9 out of 10. I have Countdown to Ecstasy. I think this is a fucking amazing follow up to, like you were saying, Liam, one of the best debuts of all time. I think this is the first like Steely Dan album, if that makes sense. Because Can't Buy a Thrill is a little is not I agree with you, Liam, that it's the least Steely Dan album. But yeah, so you're kind of starting to see like the blueprint here. Bodhisattva, the I think I said that right. The debut of the first song is really catchy. It was really stuck in my head a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Showbiz Kids, I wasn't really super crazy about that song. But My Old School, I think, is probably in my top five, maybe even top three Steely Dan songs ever. I think like that is one of the most sing-alongable songs I maybe have ever heard, especially at the parts of like where they're like Guadalajara won't do. I don't know if the whole song is super sing-alongable, but that part is very, very sing-alongable. The song that closes it, King of the World, is really, really cool. That's maybe one of my favorite songs. If My Old School wasn't on here, that would be my favorite song. But yeah, I think that it just is not quite as good as the ones I have in the top three. But it still is really good. I give it a 9 out of 10.
For my number four pick, I'm going with Pretzel Logic.
Glover Logic.
This, huh?
I just say
It's like
Glover
Glover
Logic.
Logic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you think they were
uh,
inspired by Logic when they made the name of this album?
Yeah, probably that
like
song he made about
the
suicide.
mixed rapper Logic.
Yeah.
I can tell you who they weren't fucking inspired by, Taylor Swift. And you know that she claims
Ah,
that she was the inspiration of this song. Did you know that?
which one? Pretzel
I mean,
Logic?
I mean, yeah, sorry, this album.
Why? Because like Philadelphia Pretzel Factory? She's from outside
Exactly.
of there? Oh my
Exactly.
I don't
Yep.
God.
even see the correlation. I don't. How could that? Like
Colin,
what?
the more you think about it, the more you'll get upset.
Yeah, she just thinks the world revolves around her. That's all she ever does.
Sorry, Colin, didn't mean to interrupt you, but That was a good point,
That's all
Jack.
right.
Yeah,
That's all
sorry,
right.
I just had to bring that up.
Um, this album has got some of my favorite Steely Dan songs on it. Again, um, the song "Pretzel Logic" is phenomenal. Night by Night, phenomenal. When one of you had ranked this one, you said you're not a huge fan of Ricky Don't Lose That Number, or it was like kind of cheesy. I don't remember which one of you.
It
I
was me.
agree. Um, it's not. I think I used to like it more. I don't know if it's maybe just a bit overplayed for me, but it's not one of my favorite Steely Dan songs. Um, I like all of the little like short songs, like
Little
"With the
ditties.
Gun." I think that song's so catchy. Yeah, the little ditties, if that's what you want to call them, Liam. Any Major Do Will Tell. That's a great song. I just like. I don't know this song. I think it flows really nice. I know you guys said East St. Louis Toodaloo kind of killed the vibe. I didn't really mind it. It wasn't my favorite, but I feel like it kind of picks it right back up. I give this one a 9 out of 10.
All right. This is where I got Countdown to Ecstasy as my number three. Now, Colin, I am with you. Bodhisattva used to fucking piss me off, man. That song, but it beat me into submission, damn it. Still my least favorite song on that album, but the guitars riff, it's just so goofy, dude. Like when like the f flute starts going and then the guitar does it too. It just makes you want to walk around and go like this. This is like their
But it's
Marrakesh.
that the
It's kind of like their Marrakesh Express in a way.
every
Uh,
band has one.
yeah, risks, literally. But dude, this album just, oh my God, I can't believe that people like the debut more than this one. They just step it up in every way. Donald Fagen said to those other singers, "Hey, fuck off. You're out of the band. You're not singing shit. This is all me now." Until 2003 when he said, "Walter, you can sing one." But Razor Boy is great. The Boston Rag, that is a damn catchy song. Um, King of the World, Jack, that's like Prague Steely Dan almost,
Oh
you
yeah.
know? Um,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to disagree. Showbiz Kids, I love that song. Colin, I know you've never been big on that one because of how repetitive it is, but I think that's what makes it so damn good is like it's just repetitive and it's just mean. It's just a mean sounded song. Jeff Skunk Baxter, who later would join the Doobie Brothers, plays a lot of guitar on this album, and he is just, oh my God, the guitar solo in My Old School is an all-time guitar solo, dude. Holy shit. Nothing
Oh
sounds
yeah.
like that. Just very percussive. Shout out to Jack, plays percussion.
Thank
Um,
you.
and yeah, I don't know. This is just a good one. Pearl of the Quarter is like a top three Steely Dan song for me as well. And Your Gold Teeth, holy shit, dude. They were cooking on that song in the studio. They were
Mm.
going nuts there. I like that more than Your Gold Teeth too. So 10 out of
Yeah.
10. Countdown to Ecstasy. I wonder
All
if we're
right.
gonna have a trifecta as number one, or if our top two
I
will be. I think we
I
might.
don't know.
I think
Number three. I think we might do. Number three for me. I really struggled whether or not I should give this a 10 out of 10, but I think just come nice, just under. I
Pardon.
gave it a 9.5 out of 10. So honestly, you can probably give it a 10 out of 10 if you wanted. I can't buy a thrill. I have their debut. I think this is one of the greatest debut albums of all time. I think the difference between you guys and me is that I overplayed songs never really bothered me that much. Um, like I still think if you're looking at it on paper, Hotel California is the greatest Eagles song. Stairway to Heaven probably is the greatest Led Zeppelin song. And pound for pound, the songs on this album are just
I think
stupid.
those are both bad takes, by the way.
If you like, CPH, shut the hell up. Um, like if you look at um now they're not my favorite Eagles and Led Zeppelin songs. Now I gotta defend myself on that. They're not my favorite, but I think objectively speaking, they're the best. All right, anyway. The songs on this album are just insane. I mean, looking at Do It Again, Dirty Work, fucking Reeling in the Years, Fire in the Hole. Fire in the Hole is one of the most disgusting piano intros I've ever heard in my life. Only a fool would say that. Like, if you're just looking at this from song for song, it is unbelievable. Now, the reason it's not number two or number one is because, like you were saying, Liam, it is just the least Steely Dan album ever. Like, it's not this was very. I don't want to say like it was just like 70s rock, like it wasn't necessarily like a Steely Dan album. And I think it does lose points for that. But like I said, if you were to ask me next week or in 2 weeks, this very easily could be a 10 out of 10 album for me. I was struggling, like I said, as to whether or not to do that. The reason it's just under is because Turn That Heartbeat Over Again, I think kind of is a little bit of a lame closer.
I'm so glad we all
Um,
agree with on that, dude.
I think that kind of was like and like if you were to switch like that song and Fire in the Hole and just have Fire in the Hole be the ending song, this would be a 10 out of 10 pretty easily. But it's just like that's how you end it. It's like, and that was kind of lame. And also on the fact that it's just so it's almost like the like Rush's debut, where it's like it's a good album, but it's just not the band. Now, granted, that is way more not the band than this, but it's kind of in the same like atmosphere, I guess. But it's still a fucking great album. 9.5 out of 10. Can't buy a thrill. I think probably a top three debut album of all time, dude. Sorry, I'll move on in a second, but fucking your first song ever is "Do It Again." Like
Yeah, that's crazy.
that's crazy, dude. That's got to be the greatest debut song ever, dude.
I agree.
God, that's so cool.
I would
Yeah.
put that above Good Times, Bad Times as the greatest debut song ever.
I think I would too.
Yeah. I would put that above Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath. That
Oh
one's a
yeah, for
little,
sure.
that one's more like kind of like that's one's cool because it like started a genre of music, but I still would take Do It Again. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Yeah.
For my number three, I'm going to
Oh,
go with the Royal Scam.
All right.
This is my first one that I'm giving a 10 out of 10. Um, and the only reason that I put this one below the other two is because Everything You Did isn't like a absolute perfect song in my mind. But just about everything else, the way this album flows, I think is just absolutely phenomenal. To start off with Kid Charlemagne, that song is just a freaking banger. The Caves of Altamira, again, these songs are all so good. I love Haitian Divorce. That's one of my favorite Steely Dan songs. I don't know if he's using like a talk box on that, or I don't really know what's going on,
yeah,
but
Talkbox.
I just love the different sounds throughout this album. I just think are amazing. 10 out of 10 album.
All right.
My number two is
The
the,
Fez too. Come on.
yeah. Well, let's just pick right back up because my number two is the Royal Scam. I would give this one 11 out of 10 if I could. And Colin, you know what's crazy is the same exact reason as you is like this was gonna be my number one. And then I was like, everything you did is just not like a top 10 Steely Dan song. It's still a great song, but yeah, I'm with you. Kid Charlemagne, one of the best guitar solos ever. Just hell of a way to open the album. Caves of Altamira is in the top 10 Steely Dan song for me. Don't Take Me Alive is one of their catchiest songs ever. Colin, I'm surprised you didn't mention Green Earrings. That song is just disgustingly funky. Um, that is
That
a
song
great
is
one.
pretty damn
And yeah,
good.
this one like they did the best job at like just having so many different sounds. Like Haitian Divorce has a reggae thing going on, and then it comes into the chorus with the synths and all that. But I will say, dude, the two songs on this album that just were absolutely blowing my damn mind this time around are two that I did not pay a lot of attention to for a while. But Sign In Stranger, same deal, Jack, as Fire in the Hole. That piano is just disgusting. Won't you sign in, stranger? That's such a great chorus too. Um, but my second favorite Steely Dan song of all time is The Royal Scam. That song is one of the top. album closers ever in my book. That song is just, I'm talking about it. I'm like, why is this not my number one? Um, it's just like that song is disgusting. I love the muted trumpet in it. I love how repetitive that song is. Um, just that's such a crazy song. One of the best title tracks of all time. Larry Carlton, the guitar player who played on a lot of these songs, puts on an absolute clinic. Uh, yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. I got the Royal Scam. All right, Jack, let's see what you got, man.
Fellas, I got bad news. We're gonna have to talk about this album again because at number two, 10 out of 10, I got the Royal Scam. this, this album just I all right. I gotta calm down. I gotta relax.
You
I gotta bring
started
it in
it.
here.
You started it.
My bad.
That's how I
Kid
was feeling, Jack.
Charlemagne,
Talking about it, I was like, God, it's so
yeah.
fucking good.
Kid Charlemagne into it's interesting that you said Caves of Altamira. I've always said Altamira,
Hmm.
but whatever. Into Don't Take Me Alive, I think is easily their greatest three-song run. That is, I think it's maybe one of the greatest three-song runs of all time.
I
That like
agree.
dude, when I was listening to this, I was like, holy shit. Sign In Stranger, I completely agree, Liam, about the intro. And also with the Royal Scam. Literally, we've talked I'm looking at the track list right now. We talked about literally every single run, one except for maybe Everything You Did, which yeah, it's not a top 10. Well, no, we did talk about it. It's not a top 10 Steely Dan song, still great. Um, this would be number one on so many other artists' discography pretty easily. Um, Clearly it's not, and we'll get to why next. But one thing I did want to point out, not for nothing, boys, not for nothing. The album cover on this is fucking sick, dude. I don't know if you guys paid too much
Huh.
attention to it. It's
Yeah.
so cool. It's like three like lizard monsters that turn into skyscrapers, and then below it, a guy is sleeping on a couch. like,
Yeah, it
like
is a
that is
crazy
fucking.
album cover.
That's a crazy album cover. So yeah, I'm really happy. I was not expecting this to be so high on everybody's list, but I'm very happy about that. Clearly, everybody gave it a 10 out of 10. We all have great music taste. And boys, if I was near you, I'd buy you a beer.
Thanks, man. It means a lot.
You're welcome.
All right,
You're
Colin.
welcome.
Will Colin break the chain?
My number two is going to be Asia.
Dang.
Mm.
I would say my number two and Asia and Gaucho are very. Those are, I think, those are both slightly above, um, the Royal Scam, and they're very interchangeable. What I like more, I'd say. Some days it's Asia, some day it's Gaucho, but this album is just absolutely phenomenal. Um, for a long time, I think Black Cow and Peg were the only ones I knew. And then when I started like really listening to Steely Dan, listening to all their albums, and listening to the song Asia or Deacon Blues, or Home at Last. Home at Last might be my favorite ever Steely Dan song. And this is not my number one album, but the drums on that song, oh my God. Who's playing on that? Is it Bernard Purdy?
Yeah, Bernard Purdy.
Yeah, that's, oh my God. It's just like, I don't even have words. That song's so damn good. Um, I Got the News isn't one of my favorite Steely Dan songs. It's not bad at all. I really like it. It's just not, I don't think it's on par with the rest of this album. And then to close with Josie, that's such a damn good song. This album's absolutely phenomenal. I don't know if I said I give it a 10 out of 10, but I do. Um, and it flows great too. Love this album. It's just slightly below Gaucho today.
So my number one is obviously Asia, which I didn't think it was going to be my number one, to be honest. When we first went into this, I didn't know what it would be, but I thought I would not have this one, just because I've heard it so much. But I listened to Royal Scam, like the first run through of this. I listened to Royal Scam, and I'm like, that's my number one. There's no way anything's topping that. And then I put on Asia immediately afterwards, and I was just like, it's like disrespectful how good it is. Like Black Cow, one of the all-time. songs ever. Um, Asia, it is so awesome. They have the that really weird part in the middle where it's like the steel drums and the whistling going on. Then Steve Gadd just starts playing a disgusting drum solo over a saxophone solo. It's just it's a wild song. Home at Last, I agree, Colin. It's just great drum song. It's just such a banger. Peg and Josie are like the two upbeat ones. Um, and those are both amazing as well. Uh, the funny thing is, I don't even really like I Got the News that much. Like, I think it's kind of mid. I think it's goofy, but just the other songs are just so good that I don't even care at all. It's still a 10 out of 10. It's still my favorite. Because then it goes right
Yeah.
into Josie. I'm like, oh my God, this is just an amazing song. My favorite Steely Dan song of all time is and probably always will be Deacon Blues, though. I just think that is just such a perfect song. Lyrics and everything, especially when he goes, drink scotch whiskey all night long and die behind the wheel. I just think that's just such a crazy lyric. Um, dude, just perfect, man. They they really hit the nail on the head with this one, man. And yes, I
Mm.
brought out a prop for that. It was
Yeah,
actually
Liam.
it was right next to my laptop.
All right. Well, Liam, I completely agree with you. My number one, 10 out of 10. And honestly, it was never really even that close. It's Asia. As soon as I heard this all the way through for the first time in this listen, I was like, yeah, this what are we doing here? Like, this is number one for me. Um, I think this is the best Steely Dan album ever. Like I was saying, maybe pound for pound. Whoops, sorry, I dropped my magazine. Um, Pound for pound, you might be able to make a case that Can't Buy a Thrill is better just song for song. But I think as an album, it's not really close. This is the best Steely Dan album. It's such a fucking banger. Peg is my favorite Steely Dan song ever written. I think it's a top five yacht rock song, maybe even my favorite yacht rock song. Michael McDonald is just stupid on that song. Um, I think it's like the perfect length as well. It does not overstay its welcome at all. It does a really good job of exploring new sounds, but also knowing which like themes worked in previous songs and bringing them back. Example of that is the intro of Deacon Blues sounds very similar to the intro of Peg, but I mean, obviously they're two very different songs, but I think they kind of knew like this is cool. Let's kind of explore the sound a little bit more. I think this is like the quintessential example of a soft rock album. If you want to get into yacht rock, like it's summertime and you want to listen to this type of music, you don't really know where to go. I would say every single time listen to this album, it's just banger after banger after banger after banger. Uh, Such an easy choice to give this a 10 and 10. Pretty easy choice to make this the best Steely Dan song. And yeah, that's my review of Asia. Just such a fucking good album, man.
Um, for me, my number one is obviously Gaucho. Um, this one, I feel like when um I first was getting into Steely Dan, I don't think this one was one of my favorites. I don't really remember why. I just kind of remember being like, eh. But as my palette changed, um, this album is just I just love everything about it. Um, Babylon Sisters, such a damn good song, such a good opener. Hey 19, that's one of I feel like one of their more popular songs as a whole. Um, Glamour Profession, that song so good. Um,
Hoops
and then
McCain.
the title track Gaucho. Again, that song's amazing. I just love everything about this album. I think it's absolutely perfect. Even My Rival, like it's kind of a goofy song, but I don't know, it's
That
just
one's a
I
banger,
think
man.
I think it's I just mean goofy and like how he's I guess how he's singing, like how he's phrasing his lyrics. Um he says something about a prickly pear at one point. But I just think like the track list, the order of it, everything is perfect in this one. It's got to be my number one.
Yeah,
All right.
10 out of 10.
Gaucho is definitely the one that I think warrants the most re-listens because I'm with you. Like the first few times I heard that, I was kind of like, this is just like a worse version of Asia. But then you listen to it more and you're like, yeah, Glamour Profession is crazy.
Well, I've actually forgot to bring it up, but the reason that Gaucho was so, I think it was fifth place for me. The reason it was so low is because it followed Asia for me, and I was like, I tried my best to like kind of differentiate it and listen to it as its own album, and it still was very good. But I was like, dude, it's just like you said, it's just like a worse Asia to me.
Yeah. Steely Dan, ultimate band for sarcastic white guys, huh?
Oh yeah.
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 Oh yeah. They
Yeah.
really found their niche.
Yeah. No, Steely Dan, that was fun. I really enjoyed listening to all the Steely Dan albums. I could do that every summer for the rest of my life and probably still enjoy it. Like,
I probably will do it every summer for the rest of my life.
yeah, I mean, are they the best summertime band? I think they might be.
They're certainly up there. I think also Sugar Ray is a really nice summertime band.
That's not even comparable, dude. I'm not saying they're not, but come on. Any closing thoughts on
I
Steely Dan?
No, not really. You guys want to do another discog review? That was kind of fun. I missed it doing that. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah,
I would.
I'm definitely down, man. We can pick something out.
Yeah.
Um, but until then, join us next time on the Three
Let's
Fellas
let's
List.
listen to all of Jethro Tull.
Let's do it.
That's
It's all
all.
right.
But yeah, next
But
video we're gonna do is Three Fellas Listen. Green River by CCR. Excited for it. Already listened to it a couple times, so probably do
word
that
up.
Liam, do you
pretty
want to tell them
soon.
what CCR stands for though? Because you're using slang.
Oh yeah, Creedence Clearwater Revival for all the noobs who don't know ball.
It stands for Come Come Rum.
Okay, Jack.
That's the video. Have a good one.